Wow, wow. Author Serenity Phonics.
Hi there.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. It's a smashing 2024.
Amen to that.
Okay, beautiful. Good to have you on the podcast, the Global Reader Circle, the one student, one book, one author mantra, the ultimate podcast that is designed to make a committed reader out of every global person. I'm so excited, so humbled to have you on the Global Readers Podcast.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Serenity Phonics, you're going to be having fun, 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 and obviously you're a poet, so I'm sure you're going to be keeping us thrilled with your prompt.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So, at the Serenity, I'd like you to tell the audience about yourself. But first, can you reduce your volume?
Sure. Is that better?
Beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful, amazing. Go on, go on, go on.
So, what would you like to know? I mean, is this just kind of like a
Well,
little.
well. You tell us about your reading lifestyle, how you were raised. Were you a young reader? Did you become an intentional reader? Just keep it fun, fun, fun. Tell us about you.
Alrighty. Well, I was born in Florida, but I think I definitely have a Cali soul because my soul definitely kept calling me back here. So I am now in Cali and I'm living a pretty awesome life. I live in the mountains and it's perfect for writing, that's for sure. I've been able to write
Wow.
a lot more since I've moved up here in the mountains, which is awesome. I started reading when I was quite young. I was very interested in mystery books, Nancy Drew, and I think I would read a lot of Stephen King and Dean Koontz. I love solving murder mysteries, so that was like my thing.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
and then I was 16 years old and I had no idea I knew how to write. And we had this big project in English class, and they wanted us to form some kind of a poem, do our best. And I came up with this poem. I lived a kind of difficult life, so I had a lot to write about, obviously. And I wrote this poem and they were just blown away. They said, "Oh my gosh, you know that you have the
Oh,
talent to be a writer." And I never believed them, and I would write every now and then, and it just never kind of stuck with me. It was just kind of like my therapy. But
wow.
when COVID hit and you're forced to find another hobby because you can't work
Yeah.
much, you know, I started writing. I picked up the pen and I haven't stopped.
Wow. 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 So tell us about your writing. What do you find yourself writing, obviously, every other time?
Well, that's an interesting question because um, I usually write about my life, and when people read my poetry, I want them to feel the words hitting them. Like I go by a quote, like this is my own quote. Like I like my readers
Yeah.
to feel my words carved into their soul so they never forget my work, and because it's very deep emotional poetry, it's all about a spiritual journey. I've had one hell of a spiritual awakening, so I write about that.
Wow.
And I've had some crazy spiritual experiences, and I kind of twist that into my poetry so people can look at it and they can probably think, oh, this girl's just she's just living in a fantasy, but it's actually kind of real.
Sure. Sure. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. I love poetry. I love poetry, and I'm excited to have a great poet in the room tonight. Auto Serenity Phonics. So let's talk about your reading lifestyle, your reading habit. It seems you had a lot of encouragement. Talking about your how you were raised. You had people who encouraged you that you had the golden pen. And I like to ask you, at what point did you become very intentional about improving your reading lifestyle and becoming the poet you are today?
Honestly, it was when I stepped foot on this journey. I've learned a lot about, you know, I can't explain it because it would just blow people's mind away, the things that I've experienced and gone through. And I just feel very connected to the universe. I think that's the best way to put it. And so when I'm driving and a poem is forming inside my mind, I feel like, the universe is sending that to me to help
The
connect
master,
to the
the journey
world.
mind.
What's that?
Sure. The journey mind, and the mastermind. Go on.
Yes. Yes. Um, but I do want to say it's Serenity Phoenix.
Yes, Serenity Phoenix.
Yeah, because um I'll tell you a story of why I have the pen name Serenity Phoenix. Serenity is, my whole life I've always pretty much felt like I was a mermaid. I swear I was a mermaid in a past life. I have the mermaid
Wow.
hair. I can hold my breath for a really long. I love the beach. I can go on and on and on and on and on. And
Yeah.
so I put serenity, like siren is the first part of serenity. And then serenity, in general just means like peace, tranquil, just very,
Yeah. Yeah.
calm, peaceful, joy, And then
Yeah.
phoenix, I definitely feel like I am a phoenix because I've risen from some very dark situations that I never thought I would see the light on. So I stand by that name, and that name has helped me be the poet that I am today.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So you're saying that you created Serenity Phonics, and
Yes.
this has everything to do with the life you'd always wanted to lead.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
You did it, and you're still doing it. Congratulations, Serenity.
Thank you.
Okay, Serenity. I like to ask you. You keep talking about the things you've experienced, the things you've experienced. So probably you wrote your fate right, a Mamet's journey into the realms. I think you wrote that book to solve a problem, and it seems it has everything to do about your feelings, your experiential knowledge, and so I'd like you to tell us about these experiences and what the book hopes to solve.
Okay. Um it's basically, I'm just kind of giving a message to the people that have had like horrible luck in love and relationships, and just kind of going through relationships like nothing, like, and they look at the sky and they're like, wow, like when is it going to happen for me? People that watch the Hallmark channel and get sad because they want to be that couple in the movie. That
Yeah.
was me. That was me all the time. And I even quit watching chick flicks because I couldn't stand like seeing a happy ending. I'm like, oh, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. It just doesn't exist. I'm sorry. Nope. I'm gonna be negative Nancy. Well, I'm here to
Yeah.
tell you that it does exist. You can have that
Sure.
kind of love, but
Wow.
you have to be patient for it. Like, just don't give up. Like, my message to the world through my book of poems is, yes, I met my person. It's kind of weird how I met my person because it was through dreams, but dreams can come true, is my point. Dreams can come true, and love does exist. And just don't give up. Always have faith and always trust in the universe, because The universe knows what's best for you. And, the more you believe, the more they're going to give you that perfect person that you can spend the rest of your life with.
Wow. 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 So, Auto Serenity, I like you to tell us how to get your book. I like you to tell us how to build a rapport with you. Are you a social media person? Are you very active on Twitter, on Facebook? Just tell us how to get your book and how to establish a long-standing rapport with you.
So my book is on Amazon. I wrote it last, let's see, I published it in August last year, and I got kind of scammed by the publishing company that was supposed to help me, and my book didn't go far at all. And something kept telling me, hey, you know what? Why don't you make a cover? Why don't you, revise your own poems? Why don't you do all the work? That way, when
Yeah,
people read your book, it's all you and it's not some other company like throwing words. Like, I will say
yeah,
that they tried to change my poems around and I was not having it. I said, no, 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 no. This is my work
yeah,
and I want the people to read it this way because it makes sense when you read it this way. It was just a lot of
yeah,
botchery. And so I've redone my book and I did a brand new cover and I revised a few poems in there. And so you can find that on Amazon. It's A Mermaid's Journey into the Realms, and it's on Kindle and it's paperback. It's also at Barnes and Noble, but I do need to update it on Barnes and Noble because I need to redo the cover and stuff like that so that they have the
wow,
actual, true book.
wow, wow, wow. So I believe you have the copy of your Fine Mind in the Marmot's Journey into the Rings. So if you have the copy, I'd like to get into some rings. Can you read out some part of it to our audience, like the ones that best strikes your moments, like your every
Yes.
moment?
Yes. I have
Wow,
it in front of me right now and I will read my favorite poem. It's so beautiful and like
wow,
you can feel how in love I am. It's
wow,
crazy. It's awesome to share it with the world too. So let me find this poem. Let's see. Where is it? And as far as social media, I am all about Instagram. That's where most of my poetry is. And I'm actually thinking about doing spoken poetry as well to kind of,
beautiful.
yeah. And I'm also thinking about doing an audiobook of my book as well. So let's see. All right.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, so I found one. This is my favorite one, and it tends to be everyone else's favorite. Okay,
Wow.
let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. So it's called Whiskey, and it goes,
Whiskey.
yeah, it goes like
Go
this.
on. Okay.
Oh, oh, to be the whiskey in the glass, cleansing your palate whenever you think of me, using it as your nightly anesthetic to cure the heartache of missing me. A warm sensation numbing your tongue, sliding down the back of your throat, navigating to your beating heart to soothe comfort the pain of separation between us. It seems our faith is constantly tested in this virtue of patience. The gods are on our side, and soon I'll be the whiskey you sip every night. You'll drink me and feel wholesome. I'll give myself to you, mind, body, and soul.
Wow. 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 I wish someone would listen to this and miss me, miss our podcast, and miss every author that has been credible to give all the love to our literary journey. I'm so happy. I'm so honored. Author Serenity Phoenix. That was beautiful. That was so amazing. So I think you wrote this with someone in your mind,
Yes.
and I'm not gonna ask you to expose yourself, but I'd like you to tell us what the feeling was all about, like the bubble of thought you are to craft out those wordings that strikes me like it was all about me, like I wrote it.
um so I'm not going to give away my person, of course. But it is about a very special person in my life. And um, unfortunately, you know, there are obstacles in place of us to not be able to be together at the moment. So we have to kind of, go through this obstacle course and, knock down these dominoes until we can be together. So my writing is me communicating with him. It's a very hard journey that I'm on because not being able to call on the phone and see them in person, it's hard. It's very, very hard. I know it doesn't make sense, but it might make sense to some other people that are on the same journey as
Sure,
me. It's all
sure.
about a
Wow. Go on.
sorry. It's all a very spiritual journey. And my book is all about loving someone from a distance and the pain that's involved of being separated from them when all you want is to be with them, you know.
Wow. Wow. Oh, how to serenity. You got me. Like you got me. I'm engrossed. Wow, if you're streaming this podcast, the One Student, One Book, One Author mantra, the Global Reader Circle, the ultimate podcast that is designed to help inspire, motivate, and make a committed reader out of every global person. Man, you need to know that we've been onto a very amazing poet, a wonderful golden poem, Author Serenity Phoenix in the house, and she has gotten me all in grass. So don't forget to share, tell your friends about Auto Serenity Phonics, and you can find her on Amazon. She's very active on Instagram, and I'm sure that if you're going to be washing out on her, you won't regret it. You will never regret it. Auto Serenity, I'm so honored. I'm so honored. I'm humbled. I'm humbled to have a fine mind like you on the show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. I It's really surreal to be here and talking about a book that I wrote because I never thought it would come to, and here I am reading from a book that was published by me.
Wow. So how do you feel now that you have this influence over a greater number of people? Because the entire time you were reading, the entire time you were having this moment of spoken words, Auto Serenity, I became your top number one fan. So I
Oh,
like to ask you, I like to ask you, how do you feel now that you can actually have authority over a greater number of people? What do you think it's your role? What do you think this is what I can do to help save humanity?
it feels really good to be able to share my journey because one thing that I've learned on my journey is people are afraid to say that they're on a journey too. And this book, I want this book to bring these people out of the woodworks. Don't be afraid, just go with it. Like the universe chooses, us for different paths in life. Mine tends to be it looks like it's a writer, and
Yeah.
you have to listen to the signs, and that's what I did, and that's how I've come so far on this journey. And you know will I be with my person? Of course I will. Why do I say that? Because I have faith in it, because I believe in it.
Wow.
And that's my message to people that are on the same kind of journey. With if they're on a journey looking for that person, or if they know who that person is and they can't be together with that person, then just it's okay. Patience is definitely virtue. I've learned that so much on this journey. Like, my soul has done a lot of growing because I've done a lot of work on myself. And, I'm all about love and light. There's no anger in my heart. I just want peace and love. Little hippie
Wow,
me.
amazing, awesome, awesome. The Serenity, I am getting very emotional because you should
Aw,
have gone through a lot of stuffs. You should have gone through a lot of stuffs, and you decided to heal the world despite the fact that you went through a lot. I'm so very happy you did this. Congratulations. A very big bounty congratulations to you.
thank you.
So at Serenity, here is the part where I like you to talk about some of the favorite authors in your life, because listening to you right now, I know that you could pass for a self-taught author, like a self-taught writer or a
Right.
reader that writes. Yeah, so I like to talk about some of your favorite authors.
My favorite authors, my favorite poets in general. I mean, I discussed in the beginning who my favorite authors were when I was a kid, but
Yeah,
as you get older, it's like, as you get older, your taste buds change. Well, as you get older, it's like your mind, like your cells change, and you want a different variety of stuff. Well, I discovered
yeah,
poetry when I was 16. Did I ever pick up a book and read the poetry? No, I would hear the poems on the internet, or somebody would, quote them in a movie or something, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's beautiful." But to answer
wow,
your question, I am all about Emily Dickinson. She is my
wow,
go-to. She is the one
wow,
that got me to start writing. Um,
wow,
Yes. And when I started writing, one of my daughters said, "Mom, do you realize that you write just like Emily Dickinson?" And I have to share
wow,
something with you that's really kind of special to me. I did buy her book. I bought her whole book of poems. It's got every
wow,
poem. And I still haven't been able to go through it, because the weirdest thing happened is when I started reading it, it was like her poems were the same name as my poems that I wrote, and that's without me going into her book. So that was
wow,
really surreal for me. Yes. That was
wow,
that was crazy. I can't
wow,
explain that.
amazing,
That's
amazing, amazing. Well, it happens like mines.
right. Right. It's almost like I channeled her or something. It was insane. And my other poet that I loved in the past was Edgar Allan Poe. I loved you
Yeah,
know, his sadness is what attracted me, because remember, as I said, I went through a very difficult time in my life when I was a child. So I was drawn to his poems and the sadness and the darkness in there, so a mixture of Emily and Edgar, I came up with my own my own genre.
wow, 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 amazing, amazing. Well, out of Serenity, we have this part of the show where you have to take this challenge and name 10 books that would probably stay with you. So I don't know, would you be willing to take the challenge?
So I don't know if I could do 10, because I don't really read a lot, honestly. I stay pretty busy. I do have some books in front of me. I can name 5. Can
Wow,
we go with 5? Is that okay? Can I do a halfway mark?
beautiful. Sure, sure. I got you. I got you. Go
All right. Um, I will say that there is a poet whom is also an actor, and I bought his book 2 years ago. He came out with his first book of poems, and it definitely was a beautiful book. And I've read it twice now, and those poems just it's kind of like, they're like mine. They carve onto your soul, and you just never forget those words. You never forget the
on.
emotions behind each word. And
Yeah,
so the name of that guy, the author is Misha Collins, And the book is called Some Things I Still Can't Tell You. And it's
Mm,
just a very beautiful book of poems. There's a lot of pain in there, there's a lot of emotions in there. And I felt like I was reading my life almost. It was crazy. So I definitely relate to that book a lot. I also have I love Mary Oliver because I definitely can tell she's very spiritual as well. And I have the book Devotions in front of me, and it's amazing
wow.
book. I absolutely love Mary Oliver.
Wow.
And then I have a book of love poems by Pablo Neruda, and he is just, oh my goodness, he's just so romantic. I wish I could be that romantic, but it's like
Mm.
he just knows how to just get you like so emotionally like wrapped. And I'm like,
Wow.
I need that gift.
Wow. Beautiful. That's number three.
Yes, yes. And then I have these two in front of me by R.H. Sin. The first one is Veil, and the other is Incipient. And he is another amazing artist that
Wow.
is just absolutely amazing. Like the poetry, it's almost like Pablo Neruda when I read it. It's it's just so beautiful and it just touches you, and that's the goal that I want. I want to write poetry that touches people's souls. I want them to feel those words. I want them to connect, basically.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Auto Serenity. It's so amazing to have a fine mind and a mind that's touched like you on the podcast, the Global Reader Circle. Wow, I like to ask you at the end of every day, how do you relax? Like, how do you calm your nerves?
How do I relax?
Yeah.
Honestly, I drink a hot cup of tea, and I put like rain music on, and that's how I start to relax and go to sleep.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We are almost drawing to the end of the podcast, and if you're going to be streaming this, don't forget to look up the book of Auto Serenity Phonics on Amazon. And don't forget to check her on Facebook. She's very active on Instagram. And don't forget that A Mammoth's Journey into the Realms is our best right, and you would not want to miss that devouring. Don't forget that you become the books you read and the people you meet, and meeting Auto Serenity Phoenix will do a whole lot of good to your life. So Auto Serenity, what's it like? What's it like being an author, and what's your strategy to meet your target readers?
Um, can you let's see. Well, I'm a brand new author, so I'm still taking this all in. So I don't know. Can you explain the question a little better?
Well, our strategy is to meet the people you wrote the book for. Good for you to put so much effort, and you did not get this book into the hands of the people who really need to have this book. So, what's your strategy? What are you doing to meet these readers, your final consumers? How are you hoping to build this rapport and create this meet?
Well, I'm definitely going to start doing spoken word poetry. A lot of marketing of my book, definitely helps to market. I've seen a lot of authors, they tend to get all their readers to look at their stuff by marketing. And since I'm, very popular on Instagram, I figured I could try some marketing there. I do want this to reach around the world for sure, because you
Wow,
know I just feel like this book can help heal. And I don't know, I can't really explain it. I feel like this book was like I was told to write this book, to help heal the people, heal the broken hearts, of people that are just giving up. Because I was one of those people. I was ready to give up and be like, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to settle and I'm just going to gain like 400 pounds and I'm not going to do anything with my life. I'm just
Wow.
going to, just going to be whatever. I don't care anymore. I'll just be a couch potato for the rest of my life. And then then this crazy spiritual journey literally fell into my lap, and it just gets better and better every day, and it's beautiful, it's surreal, and it's I'm so happy that I get to share this with the world, because I mean
Thank
my
you.
story is definitely unique, but I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people that share the same story as me.
Wow. Thank you very much for bringing this on and bringing it to the author's limelight and trying to reach out to solve the problem, because there are a lot of heartbroken people in the world.
Yes.
And by this single effort, you solved a whole lot of problem. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you.
Thank
Author
you.
Serenity Phoenix, I am very happy to have you on the Global Reader Circle, the ultimate podcast that is designed to help make a global reader out of every global person. So before you go, I'd like you to leave your last words. What will be your last words to the downtrodden? What will be your last word to someone who is traumatized right now? What will be your last word to that person who served the country and right now he's feeling like he's all alone? What would be your final words to people going through stuffs?
Um, Remember that no matter how dark it can seem, no matter how cold it can feel, those terrible situations that we go through in life, they're only temporary. Life is what you make it. And as long as you have faith and you believe and you keep trusting in the universe, you'll come out of the dark, and you'll see the light. And sometimes, I feel like I can light the way for people, and that makes me feel at home.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Author Serenity Phoenix. It's
Absolutely.
so great to have you. It's so great to have you on our book show. I'm so honored.
Thank you. It's been amazing. I know we've been planning this for a minute, but I am very very busy. But I'm so glad we finally got some time, and I was able to share my views and stuff. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate. Wow. If you are streaming this, this is author Serenity Phoenix, and she's a poet, an author, the very title, A Mammoth's Journey into the Realms. So I'm very sure that if you will be looking for a moment of ecstasy instead of turning to the other stuff, you should turn to Auto Serenity Phonics, because the Mammoth's Journey into Realms will take you into all forms of realms and you get your answer. Don't forget that this is the Global Reader Cycle. And don't forget that you become the book you read and the people you meet. So make sure you meet Auto Serenity Phonics and meet the book A Mammoth's Journey into the Realms. Auto Serenity, thank you very much for honoring our Ivy, and we look forward to have you on a show with Beginners, a Zoom meet and greet, and we look forward to have you on a Global Reader Circle. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I feel very honored to be here as well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Well, with this, we come to the end of the show. And I'm very happy and very thrilled. I've been so engrossed and humbled. And I'm so sure that you're going to be sharing this. You're going to follow. You're going to also give a mammoth journey into the realms, a great devouring. I look forward to have you engage on our special hashtags, and I look forward to see your engagement. Thank you very much for streaming this, and We look forward to having other great episode. To Serenity, a big shout out to you. Thank you very much for making this happen.
I appreciate it absolutely anytime.
Wow, wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No problem.